Again, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
Before, while
sir.
waiting for our panel members, can we have someone to lead us to pray?
Yes, sir. So, masugod na, sir.
Yes, I will start. Uh, while waiting for them, we will start by opening this meeting with a prayer.
Sige, sir. So, sige, sir. Okay, ready na mo. So, uh, yes, Lord, hallelujah, Father God in heaven. Thank you, Lord God, for this afternoon, Lord God, yung maghatag ka ng Lord God, and for bringing us today, Lord God, on where we stand karon ng kahaponan, Lord God, and thank you, Lord God, nga even, Lord God, kini sa among final defense karon, Lord God. We pray, Lord God, that everything, Lord God, will move smoothly, Lord God, and tabangan minimum, Lord God, nga makapresent, Lord God, sa tanan namong haguan, Lord God, o gama, Lord God, and even, Lord God, we pray, Lord God, para sa mga instructors, Lord God, sa panels, Lord God, nga mo sa Tagalog, wisdom po, Lord God, and understanding, Lord God, and bisan, Lord God, ang mga presenters, Lord God, and thank you, Lord God, nga tabangan minimum, Lord God, nga hiusa, Lord God, ni nga presentation, Lord God, and everything, Lord God, nga mahuman, Lord God, and like, tanan, Lord God, mahuman naman, Lord God, maansira naman tanang questions, Lord God, o mga problems, Lord God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Again, all glory, honor, adoration, Lord God. Thanksgiving, Lord God, the only mo lang, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so stand by for a while and we wait for 10 minutes for our panel of evaluators. Checking if your name is.
Excuse me,
Uh,
sir.
oh, okay. What is that?
Pwede may makabalo sa mga panel, sir.
Right now, who will enter this room? All of the SIT is invited, so I don't know who will join the this schedule. Okay, so I am sure that there is Ma'am Kalumpang, but some of the panel of evaluators now is entering. So we will welcome Sir Mark Catalunya and Sir Michael. Okay. Hello, Sir Mike. Hello, Sir Mark. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, man. Good afternoon, Sir Ben.
Good
Thank you
afternoon,
for.
sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, sir. We will start since na naman duwa, sir. We will start then. If na musulod lain, mapas na sila. Okay ra ninyo, sir.
Okay na, sir.
Okay ra. Okay ra ninyo, Sir Mike.
Okay, sir. Go na, go.
Okay, because we only have 1 hour, then pasin mga dagang suggestions or need to remove something with their manuscript. Okay. Hello guys. Shall we start?
Okay, sir. So start na, sir.
Yes, sige, start na ta. Sorry for that.
Okay. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, would like to recognize the presence of our capstone advisor, Mr. Venhart Alejo, as well as our panelists. So we are the Astra Group, and will be presenting our capstone project proposal, web-based student library portal for books in Norsubais. So for the uh, project context, here is Marvin Regala.
Once again. So, for the project context of our proposed project, a web-based student library portal for books in Norsubais campus is designed for students who frequently face difficulties since the number of books available in the library is limited. This system provides a useful method for having a systematic and electronic data set of books. It eliminates the needs for students to go to the library and request the books they needed to continue their lessons. So, this proposed method can help not only students and learners but also educators because it improves productivity and advancement of such modernization in education. So, therefore, the effectiveness of a library is determined by how books are organized and how easy it is to obtain the books of one's choice. The web-based student library portal for books will be developed for Norsubais campus. This system will be established and designed to support librarians to record all book transactions to eradicate the problem of book loss and files in the library. As a result, we set out to improve the system by upgrading and establishing the Norsubais campus web-based student library portal for books, which allows students and instructors to browse and access book titles and complete transactions quickly. So, next is the purpose and description of our project. The web-based student library portal for books in Norsubais campus provides indexing and storing of digital books in open access format, like ebooks and PDFs. Physical books in the library are converted into digital and organized into different categories. This system processes improves productivity and reduces operation costs and saves time. Due to digitalization, it helps every reader to experience an innovative mode of reading through the internet. What makes this system unique is that users don't need to go to in library just to find books for educational purposes. Instead, user can search for specific digital books and view it anytime they need and wherever they are. So, our main purpose of this project is to boost productivity, lowers operating expenses, and saves time in terms of efficiency in using the library portal for books in educational purposes. The new approach is projected to be beneficial to school admin and users. So, for the scope or the objectives of the project, here is Ed Christian Salazar.
Yes, hello. Uh, so good afternoon again, everyone. Objectives of the project. So the general objectives of the project is to develop a reliable, convenient, and accurate web-based student library portal for books in NORSU BAIS campuses. So these library systems will enable NORSU BAIS campuses to distribute files through online accesses, such as books in PDF forms, and this project is to cope up with the learn will cope up with the needs of the learning resources of the students uh, through online. And accessibility. Okay. So, and lastly, to enhance the connection between the library's admins and students and to improve the system's time efficiency. And next is the scope and limitations of the project. So, the scope of the project is the proposed system is based on the students' statements of needs. So the system has basic capabilities such as searching certain uploaded books and that users need for their studies. So since computers are constantly evolving, this system can take advantage of the computer's capabilities and are being applied for the system. And the primary target of this proposal is to provide and develop a web-based student library portal for books in Norso Bais campuses for the school's library. And this system can be used to search for particular books. And this integrated system contains both the users and the admins datas. So this system uh, so this system is to was proposed by the researchers in order for the school to provide uh, both the school personnels and the students for their learning uh, to cope up with their learning materials because as we know most of the classes are held through online classes. So this system will enable both the school personnel and the students to gain access to their needs in their uh, for their books. So next is the limitation. So this system has limitations due to certain purposes and problems,
Excuse
and
me.
as well as it solves them. So
Excuse me.
yes,
Sir,
yes, sir.
ma'am, if ever mawala ko, just continue kay burn out dire. I'll find ways na lang gud kung saan ni. But if mawala ko, just continue. Okay? Salamat. Sige, continue, Ed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So again, so the limitations of this project is that this system has limitations due to certain purposes and problems, as well as it solves them. So distributing copies of books, which we call copyright infringement. So this system has some limitations, and including to those limitations are that the users cannot access these system libraries when they cannot if they cannot provide for the because this is to also keep track of the students who access particular books, and also that also does not allow the books to be saved offline. So this is also for the system to secure the archive books from being leaked. So the next part of the presentation will be discussed by adjacent factoran and gargolas. So thank you.
Okay, so this section contains reviews of the international and national literature sourced from journals and internet resources related to our title, web-based library portal for books in Nursubais campus. So it contains a summary of the evaluated literature and studies as well as their relevance. So um, the first review by Oden 2022 is stated that at most cases, books transactions in institutional libraries were done manually, which took longer for activities such as borrowing and returning books. Due to the lack of computerized system at the library, there may be loss and damage to records as a result of human mistake. So it means that there will be complications which lead to inefficient library management due to the lack of a computerized system at the library. Second, web-based e-library system is defined by Mumimi I 2019 as a multifunctional web multimedia content information management system built on a standard relational database structure. Information technology has transformed many aspects of life, particularly education. So uh, he stated here that web based is a multifunctional web multimedia because indeed it helps in various libraries in managing the operations in the physical or manual library. So the web based e library system was created to help users with their searching habits and to keep up with technological advancements. Third, according to uh, Tochokwo et al. 2015, research is the front like history, library science, and etc. So library schools are the most practical possibilities because of their transition toward modern information technology and um, management methods, as well as broadening of the previous library centered course. So um, the purpose of this theory in the establishment of a web-based student library portal for books is to help future practitioners and achieve their objectives, such as learning how to apply standard theories to the categorization and description of save digital resources. So, therefore, the above theories serve as the foundation for the development of a web-based student library portal for books at the Norso Vice campus. So these theories contributed significantly to the evolution of the system in terms of ideas and concept. So thank you. So for the conceptual framework, Magabo Francis will be presenting.
So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Francis B. Magabo, and I am here to present the conceptual framework. So, the conceptual framework is the input, process, and output. So, in input, formulate and selecting topic or ideas. And second, literatures and related studies. Third is theories and concept. In process, planning, requirement, system analysis, and the web-based student library portal for books. So, the input, process, and output of the conceptual framework of the project are presented in the figure above. So, in the input stage, the researchers explode ideas for a capstone project. To back up the researchers' thoughts and conceptions, they look into a variety of related literature and studies, including theories and concepts. So, the waterfall model is a classical model that is used in the system development life cycle, or SDLC. The process stage used this model to create the web-based student library portal for books on the Norsubice campus. It is a step-by-step process that has distinct goals that are set in each phase. The first phase is planning, wherein the researchers choose a concept and their system preference. The second phase, researchers gather all the requirements needed for designing the system. Third, the system design creates an outline of technical design requirements. The fourth phase is where the coding happens. All of the requirements in the prior phase will be developed in the phase testing of front end and back end, develop and debugging. And lastly, if the system faces the test, it will be implemented fully and deployed to the actual environment. Lastly, final the finally the researchers presented the output stage of the project, which is the web-based student library portal. So in input, we gather information and formulate ideas to come up ideas or system for our system. That's what need for the students. So in process, we plan and we plan on concept and the system. Second is gathering the all the requirements. Last and system design for the programming language, design and hardware and software specification. And lastly, for the development is the completion of the coding and the development of the system. And lastly, so we come up for the web-based student library portal for Nurse Books. So next, please, for the chapter 3. So the hardware specification. So hardware specification requirements is the we have the standard client, standard for phone and computer. Standard server is for computer. So operating system. We have in the operating system for the phone is Android or iOS, while in the Standard client is computer, which is Windows 7. Processor for uh, standard computer also for the server is Windows 10. So the processor are the Android Snapdragon 865 or higher. That and another one for iOS is 1 hertz or or higher for that. So in the processor for the Windows 7 is Pentium for 2.6 or higher. Than in the our computer server is the AMD Ryzen 3.200 with Radeon Vega graphics. So in RAM, we have in phone is 4 GB. In Windows 7 computer, which is the standard client, is the 16 GB, while in our standard server is 32 application server, not applicable in in both standard client, which is phone and computer, while in our standard server is SAMP, which is 8.0.19 PHP Apache. While in web server, we have also not available in standard client, which is phone and computer, and also available in SAMP 8.0.19 Apache in our computer server. Utility database software is not applicable for standard clients, which is phone and computer. While in our standard server is SAMP, which is 8.0.19, which is MySQL. While in utility software is available in antivirus in phone and computer in which is the computer antivirus and file management. Hard disk, we have no available in standard client, which is phone and computer, and also available in and also have that in our computer, which is the standard client Windows. And also we have the standard server, which is based on Eclipse IDE for PHP developers, which is 2022 0.3. Google Chrome web browser, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, exams, and jQuery, and JavaScript. So this is the tables that we have that show that hardware and devices that needed to be used by our admin. So in list of software, so
Excuse me, before we
software are
proceed, can you change the hardware specification to software specification? I think the best title for that is software specification.
sorry sir.
Okay.
Na
The
nabale.
barag-murag na nalibog naman nila Pita. So, on your
Nabale
manuscript,
sir.
please consider that one.
Ah, ibali sa alayin sa kanang title. Excuse me
Okay
sir,
lang,
sir.
okay lang, okay
Thank
lang.
you.
Sige lang, okay
I,
lang. That one is the hardware.
ipadayon ko lang mo sir.
Okay, kandahan pa rin lang.
Yes sir. Nakabalik
Okay.
pangalan. Sige sir. Thank you sir. Thank you sa pagsagot sir. So, okay.
We'll go
So,
directly to the chapter 4.
chapter 4 sir. Sige sir. So, the chapter 4 will be presented by Miss, huh? Will be presented by Miss Cooley.
So, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. So, organizational structure of the external campus. So, this is the flow of the organizational chart from the university president down the campus administrator, then to the assistant campus administrator for academics. Next is the campus librarian, and then to the technical service and reader service, and lastly to the library support. The figure above, the The figure above shows the organizational structures of the campus library. Norso Library ensures the preservation of knowledge by creating, collection, and making information resources available. Next. The schedule facility is presented by Mavin. So for that schedule feasibility, the table shows the project.
Excuse me, Regala, your microphone was muted. Can you unmute your microphone? Regala, can you hear me? You are muted.
Ay, sorry, sir. Kanina na yung diri mo. So, again, sir. So, schedule feasibility. So, the table shows the project schedule in making our proposed system. So, we use a Gantt chart as a planning method for the tasks have been scheduled showing what work is to be done on a specific weeks. So it represents the start and end dates of a project in simple view. So the data inside the table shows the schedules and development of our assigned tasks. So for the operational feasibility, here is James Adlaon.
So the figure above shows the fishbone diagram. The head represents the problem. Why do students have a problem accessing the book in the library? Facing shows an so again, so the figure above shows the fishbone diagram. The head represents the problem. Why do students have a problem accessing the books in the library? Facing such as immense representability in a very short period of time. The, li- the library staff obligation is to organize the library system in more efficient and competent way. The library operations were still at their initial stage and we're encountering many small issues frequently. Among those found in the skeleton's backbone are limited library capabilities, indicate resources, waste of resources, and obstacles in some school library policies connect the spring, which represent the costs that are bundled together, which are the insufficient space, hassle, outdated books, limited books, chance of student losing books, time consuming, and need for ID to access the library resources, which are the problems that encountered by some students in accessing books in the library. Therefore, as we initiate to the study the above problems, the research has decided to solve this problem by implementing a web-based library portal for books in Norsubai's campus. To meet and to meet the requirements of the management, this system will help the library come come up with a great solution. So so the next presenter is Jomari Gargoles.
So in this section is the functional decomposition.
Nakamute ka. Okay na rin. So, a functional decomposition diagram is a diagram that depicts the breakdown of a system. Researchers break down the structure in the simplest components of a system. They are going to develop after examining the facts, collecting in the feasibility and planning phases. This would make it easier to keep track of the system's feature and functional to learn about the new features being introduced to the system. So, so this is the data flow of the web-based student library portal for books in Norsabais campus, in which the administrator has the full access of the system, and the admin can update and delete the books, and uh,
Um,
the
excuse me,
the library users can.
can we omit or can change delete from the word archive because we don't want
Archive,
to
sir,
delete the
archive.
records, okay, on our system, or archive
So
lang. We
archive to,
So
sir.
the concept of your system is to, if the book is no longer available or is no longer if it's outdated, so you transfer that book into archive. So you don't need to delete
Yes,
a
sir.
book since all books have their own transactions. Para dili mawala ang transactions, you put it on your archive. So I guess that's really ato ang usban sa inyo ang FDD.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
continue.
And sige, sir. And the library user can access the system by and the library user can only view the book after logging into the system. So next na. Next slide. So this section is will be discussed by Francis Magabo.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Francis Binagabo, and I'm here to present the system flowchart. So, here, here we can see the start homepage, which we can see the student and admin staff. So, first we begin in the student. So, student needs to register before he can log in. So, this student can register, and the student once he can register, he or she can log in again. So after that login, we can see that the student can log in into the login page. So the student can see the view profile, edit profile, search books, and view ebook. So another in the staff or admin login, so we can see that the login, but there's no register or register form. So it's automatically the system has a default admin, so he or she can log in directly into the system. So after that login, we can see that admin login page. After that login page, we can see that he or she can change the student can change password of the admin, and also he or she can add or delete an ebook. So after that, we can log out or end the system flowchart. So the figure shows that the flowchart of the students and admin on the student side, it starts by registering an account or logging in directly. If they already have an existing account, students will have access to the dashboard and edit her profile. So in the student can search and view the book and can log out, which ends the process. On the admin side, the admin can access the system using the default login and check to see if the account is exist in the system. After that, we can log out or end the system. the admin can access the dashboard page where they can add and delete ebooks from the system system. So the admin can log out and also ends the process. Next, please.
By the way, before we proceed, can you go back and I have to um
Sige, sir.
recap for the
Thank you, sir.
symbols for the flowchart. Rectangular is process. Hexagonal is the input. So from the start, you have selections of you are in home page, so it might the appropriate one is is only a input or output na on a hexagonal is it's either input or output. So wala makiki-process sa homepage. So you cannot
Copy, sir.
use a rectangular one. And there is no such thing as in flowchart na magsanga dayon siya like what you have done there. Homepage din students and
Yes,
login.
sir.
It's up to you. You have to make a decision. You are just asking first if are you student? Yes. If yes, you go to the process for the students, and no, you go to the process for the admin. And as I mentioned, murag wala ko na usab during the checking of sa kong check. So make sure no not to limit your system flow chart with only one page. Kay daghan pa man sa mga processes. And just use connectors katong lingin to connect all the pages parang dili siya bitin. Okay?
Copy, sir.
Ah,
Copy, sir. Thank you, sir.
okay. Basig na pa yung mga
Please,
ikaadugang
next.
pa ato ang mga panel members.
Ay,
Gulpihon
balik
na, sir,
sabay,
Ben.
balik sabay.
Gulpihon na.
Tingnan lang daw ni Sir Ian.
Wala
Okay, you
akong
can
ping.
now
Matay tayo. Ay, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
sige, continue mag-abo.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Please, next. Please. So, in this part, we can see the requirements modeling. Excuse me, excuse me. Wait for a while. Um, excuse me. So, data flow diagram. So, here in this part, we can see the DFD level 0 in the student area. We go through the student area to explain where the project is going. The picture shows the primary process in a single node. In this diagram, we can see how the project will function at a glance. The student enters the data into the system and then receives the results from the system. You can see that the data flow is already included in the diagram. The data flow is apparent even though the method is quite generic. So in this part, we can see that the student can log in directly into the web-based student library portal for books. And second, he or she can search a book in the web-based student library portal for books. And also, he or she after that he or she can view the book in order to once he can search the book, he or she can view the book and return it to the student. So next please. So in the second figure, which is this is to show the data routes of the DFD level 1 to present all ebook information like authors and titles of the ebooks. After searching for an ebook in this DFD level 1, this diagram, the user can view the ebook itself and all the information about it. The user initiated this process, which were subsequently handled by the system. So we can see that the student can search an ebook. After that, after searching an ebook, the ebook have the content or the details about authors and titles, and also all the ebooks are presented here. Next, please. So in this area, the DFD level 2, this diagram, the student or user can search and view the ebook. So we can see that the student can search the ebook and view it. And after all that, after viewing the ebook, he or she can see the information about the ebook like authors, titles, and all the ebooks from the view ebook and return it to the student can view as an ebook for the student. So next, please. So uh, lastly, in this data flow diagram in the admin area, we can see all the functions from ebook books, from viewing ebooks, managing ebooks, changing password, and lastly, managing the students. So here is the data flow diagram. So the admin can log into the web-based student library portal and can change password or add the new password, manage the student. Also, in the managing student, he the admin can block the student, and also in the view all ebooks can you can see all the ebooks listed in the library or the e-library. So in the another part, we can see the manage ebook. The admin can add another ebook, and also he or she can manage it. So that's all. Thank you. For the next reporter or presenter, here is Judy Labandera. Sorry sir, sorry sir, ako pa din. So in this part, which is the context diagram, we can see the overall look of the entire system. So we can see the student can search an ebook and into the web-based student library portal for Norso Vice campus, and can the student can view the ebook. Also in the admin part, we can see that the admin can add another ebook, and the entire database of the ebook will be updated. So this is an overview of the entire system of the web-based library portal for books at Norsobi's campus, where we can see the process of the student searching for an ebook and viewing the ebook that the system has provided, and also the admin can add and update books for the system. So thank you. And for the next presenter, here is Jundi Labandero. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Once again, everyone, I'm going to present the requirements modeling and the diagrams under it. So first is the use case diagram. So a use case diagram is a visual representation of the details, functions of a system and a user. So the above figure, the figure shows the illustration of instructions and limitations of the admin and the user. So as you can see in the left side of the figure is the admin, which illustrates through arrows the function of the admin in the system, which is first is the admin can log in, which is the default function of the admin. Next is the admin can add ebook and view ebook and also update the ebook. The admin can also and next is the admin can view all of the student informations as well as edit the admin profile informations and change its account passwords. So on the right side of the figure is the user. So user must register account in order to log in and enter to the system. So the only thing that the user can do in the system is to view the ebook file and the ebook informations. And beside to that is the user can't do anything in the system. He can't download the ebook because the ebook is the download ebook is restricted by the admin. So same as the admin, the user can edit its profile informations as well as change its account passwords. So next slide, please. So next is the class diagram. So a class diagram is used not only for visualizing, describing, and documenting many parts of a system, but also for creating executable codes for software programs. So the figure shows the visualized processes happening in the system. Each classes have different attributes that contains data elements that has value and methods that shows how classes communicate with other classes. So as you can see in the upper left part of the of, figure is the register. So it is a register class. So inside a register class has its attributes like username, a user ID, student ID, first name, last name, so on and so forth. As well as its registration. So it is it has a relationship with the web-based student life portal class, which is one relationship. In the figure is the administrator. So inside the administrator class also has attributes like admin ID, first name, last name, middle name, username, so on and so forth. So it created a web-based student portal for box class and has a one-to-one relationship. So in the lower part of the right peak right side is the list of books classes with that has add functions, the view functions, and the update functions, and it is connected to the so has a attributes contained to it, like the ebook ID, the title, the author, so on and so forth, and has a many to one relationship. So the ebook class is also connected to the user account. So it has a many to many relationship. So next slide, please. Next is the sequence diagram. So the sequence diagram shows how processes are carried out in the system. They capture the interaction between things in a collaborative way. A non-member of the system, which is the user, must register to, the registration page and must input data. So na-type po error diya. So it is input data, which is, and then it will send to the system and checking it if all of the data are correct. And after that, the system will send it to the database to store the data. And the database will send feedback to the system for confirmation of the success. In that time, the user can log in to the login page. So when logging, the user must input the user email and the password to the login page, and it will check the data if it is correct, and it was sent to the database for validation, and then the database will inform the user if it is a success or a failed login. So if it is a success login, the user will direct to the user dashboard. So user can view the ebook by selecting which ebook they want to view, and then the system will get the specific ebook to the database and validate it, and sending feedback to the user if the ebook is viewable. Next is the user can also edit profile, which is edit profile information, input all data, and then send it to the system for validation, and the database will send also its feedback if the edit profile information is success or not. And lastly is the change password. The user must input the current password, the new password, and the confirmed password, and the system will check its validity to the database if the inputted data is correct, and the database will send feedback to the system and send it to the user if the change password is success or not. And also there's a log out, the logging out of the system, and the system will response of logging success. So that's all for the sequence diagram. Okay lang. So that's all, sir.
Okay, thank you. May I ask the panel of evaluators if they have some questions from the presenter?
Sir Van.
Sir Van. Sir Van. Yes,
Sir
ma'am.
Van. Sir, may I ask if they have also the use case diagram?
Nato sila.
Ah, alright. Okay. Sige. So since as kada siyang dira sir ba na siya admin din user, pwede siya mabutangan og like staff, di ba? Kay si admin is to confirm or siya mo accept either sa staff, buhatag siya og trabaho ni staff. Kung si admin lang, so wala yung option.
I think no, they are just thinking that admin also are the staff. Am I right? The present Jisan, if you are or Magapo, if your just your thought is just directly also the staff is the admin
Yes, yes.
or
Yes, sir.
Ma'am Dacian speaking is maybe you have a separate siguro a master admin where is the librarian, and because we see also in your functional decomposition diagram where murag ubay-ubay man po itong mga staff below the librarian. Pasig mo po na questions ni ma'am kung ang concern niya is kana kung matagaan og separate account ang staff and the admin. Because the admin here is the librarian. Ito sa nang una-unaon. Isa may admin ani Jisan or the staff or the librarian also.
Sir.
Sir.
Pero ma'am, is okay po na we will create a separate um, admin or a separate account for the staff to help the admin to do some tasks, no, kay basin niya og absent si admin, wala si librarian, so dili ka add og book ang unsa ba ang staff.
Excuse me, sir. Pwede mo mga paano, sir?
Unsa man?
Mga tanong ako, sir, same ra ba na mag-function ang sa staff admin pod, sir? Parehara po ba siya sa pinaka-head or pinaka-admin namo, sir?
Mo ni pangutana ma'am dis yan.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
So kami mo tubagan akong kamod sa man inyo ah.
Pila ko no sa ilahang use case diagram is ang staff and admin usa ra sila og function.
Oh.
Sir, mao dyan ang mga, sir. Bali, ang admin or the pinaka-staff or admin dyan, sir. Bali, ang naitabo sa among system is usara dyan ang admin namo, sir. And all of the function will be the admin, sir. Ano bang, siya ra ba maghimo sa functionality sa system, sir, ba?
My question is the admin account, I think for example, we have different two admin accounts, like my account is an admin, your account is an admin, and kang ma'am Lisian is an admin. Three accounts has an admin privilege but different accounts. Pwede po na siya or unsa man jud inyong account admin, meaning one master key admin that you can all the username and password, one username and password will be just given to the staff.
Sir, sorry po.
700, sige, Salazar, you first.
Si- si-
You first, Salazar. Answer like ang amo, sir, Ako na lang kay marag nalibog ka.
Ay,
Um,
sorry, sir. So, ako,
okay.
sir, bali, sir,
Uh,
ang nasa mo, like, sa mong ideas,
Um, Horay mo ko tubag sa buang
so,
ang given ni ay data sir is
like, usa
ang tanang staff
kuan,
is murag
like,
usa na
ang
lang
mga
sa
staff
usa
sa
ka kuan
library,
sir ba
dala sila
sa
sa
you
admin
are
na
doing it in chorus, di na may kasabot.
pero different account siya sir.
putol-putol.
Di siya limited sa usa ka account
Hindi
sa
ako.
admin. Kasi na pwede na diya ang sa
Ay, sorry,
staff.
sir, hindi ako. Putol-putol sa ako, sir.
The bandera, please repeat what you said. Okay.
Sige mo sir.
sige, John D. Continue.
Ang also sir dili siya limited sa usa ka account ang butang sa admin is pwede siya daghang accounts depende kung pila ka account ang ibutang. So this consider na mo na ang masa is partner siya sa admin na pa.
So one many admin but many accounts but one privilege as an admin. which is makita mo
Yes,
gud
sir.
nato na there is a problem if a particular staff, because in orso staffs are mga admin staff are not ganing regular. Sometimes makuan muna sila, they will find another job. Then if admin gyapon siya, then no one can sa man disable that account if musulod gyapon siya, since this is online. Mura pud ako ang concern, walay master admin. Sakto ba, Sir Mark?
Yes,
Yes, I got the point of Miss Lago, her question kanang at this point manggod, I think they could not add any more user below the admin kay it's almost graduation na. Then the point of Miss Lago is that there is no other admin except for that only one. So do you have just like this is just a suggestion that you will have an admin, so it's just ahead of the admin because based on your presentation, the if you are going to add admin 1, admin 2, admin 3, it's because as Sir Benhard says, there are a lot of stuff in Norso and library, and sometimes if their contract will end or they are just going to look for another job, so there will be no more personnel in charge for the system. So if you could just add kanang admin 1 which has the privilege sa tanan ng koan sa tanan nga sa system, and there is like for example sub admin or admin 2, admin 3 or admin 4 which are the staff kay dili siya, yes, it is not possible if there is only one admin kay who will control the system, who will manage the system if as Sir Bernard says mo mangitag laing trabaho or mo end ang contract, may mo siyang useless.
Yes. Parang dili na lang lisod nila, sir. I will just help them.
Mm.
That that admin, the one that we see in the left side will be changed to staff, and we will create a admin which is the same capability with the staff, but we will just add another function which is to we have a account control, like yeah, just another function there that for active and inactive, or set an active or inactive uh, stuff, something inana parang kanara na features inyong dungagan for your system, parang dili mo maglisod. Sakto ra ba pod kung di bali siya dali dugay ba buhaton.
Mas better to sa Sir Bernard kay para dili sila mag if dugangan pa nila daghan mag-change na pod ilahang koan.
So okay ra ba ninyo to accept that change lang nato ang gamay concept.
okay ra sir.
So that admin account will be one na siya sa function to set the accounts na yabang i-active or inactive. Like for example, the staff is no longer employed with Nursu. So even though na siya account sa system, when she logins or he logins, the account will be, or the system will prompt that this account is already been locked. Blah 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 blah, di ba? So we have a system control. Nag-gets ra ba
Uh,
ninyo mo ganang ipasabot?
yes sir. Meron ko pang tanong sir.
Yes.
Uh, sa form ana sir, paitan sa form sa admin sir is laylay po silang admin ay form para sa login sir or usa lang pero i-identify lang o staff ba na siya or katulong admin dun sir.
One login, you can just add on your database table for your user. You can just add one column there, which is an admin type. So for
Siguro
example,
status sir.
admin status, for example, if you set that admin status to 1, meaning that is an master admin, and then if 2, meaning that is only a regular staff, then di ba, so If that account holds the status of one, meaning siya may master's admin. So siya makita ni na siya one functions there that they can view all the admins. So tanang mga admins makita pod niya. Then just a table there inside of the page where all of the users or admins can be see. And then sa kilid dito, nara dito a button there that set active or set inactive.
Okay, sir.
So di kay siya dakong trabaho. Ma'am Tisian, are you satisfied?
Goods na, Sir Ben. Thank you, sir.
Any
Work.
any other good suggestions? Sir Mark, Sir Ye, Sir Michael.
Guys, could you please kuan kanang get back to the slide katong hardware specs. Balik. One. Itong sa hardware. Okay. On your hardware specifications, ni-transfer mo gud ko sa phone. I cannot see it clearly, but I have here my notebook. Based on your kanang hardware specs, like for example, in the random access memory specs niya din ha is, you should have include the minimum requirements because it's like, shall we say, if I only just have a 4 GB standard computer or computer, will it be possible nga mo function siya, yes or no? So since you have indicated there 16 GB, murag taas ra siya kaayo, please just include minimum requirements. Like for example, if it will run in 4 gigs, so 4 gig or higher, just like that on your standard client phone also, please just include the minimum requirements. And also, regarding on your server, it says there that AMD ang inyong processor. So you can have kanang a specs of a processor which is kanabang you are not specifying that's a product name, that's a company AMD. Pura bag, as I said, kanang minimum requirements sa iyang processor. Can when you say AMD, like for example, if the library office is going to procure a computer server intended for that, so they will specify that AMD. Or will it be possible if we can have Intel or AMD? It's either of those choices. Mo lang na siya.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Then
Okay.
sir, I will add on
Oh, sige
please
sir.
group the table to whatever category kay nagsagol mo ng hardware and the software.
Mm.
So as siguro ang hardware like ibot lang ra dito sa laing table. So like katong ingon ni Ma'am ni Sir Mark pod, use the hertz, number of hertz and number of we call it the core kay makita naman nimo na naman na equivalent to whatever brand AMD ba na or Intel. So kuan lang gyud kay diri sa inyo na may Pentium na po mo AMD branding na may tawag gud ana.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then with your review of related studies, I think those are intended for related literature and gyud, and then find related studies which are those systems gyud na system gyud siya na like for example yung studies in the new research of the study was it's only the acceptance of technology blah blah blah, so wala siya gagama the system. So we'll find a related study that having a system na parehas gud sa inyo na portal yun. Like for example, Siliman portal for library anana. So sing naami makita sa internet na schools that using student portal for their library. So, similar system sa inyo. Kana siya, pwede siya ma-drag into your related literature. Okay, the literature and studies are not the same ang good. Ang study is same kuan na siya ba? System na inyong gi-develop.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir Yeye,